Me yesterday had some problems with this sound. Let's hope everything works out well because we got a special guest today. Um, so yeah, let me know if you can hear me. We gotta say we're gonna have a special guest on here. He's gonna be here in just a minute. Hey, can you hear me, man? Can you guys hear me all right? I want to make sure that you can hear me. Check, check. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys can. Oh, you're gonna have to stay to the end to hear it. You're gonna have to stay to the end to hear what the giveaway is, buddy. Yo, we're gonna bring our special guest on the camera, guys, to answer your questions and have a good time. So. Yo, I don't know if you're in yet. We're just waiting for our secret guest coming. Guys, what's going on? Drop some questions. We're answering all your questions today. Cold messaging, sales, cold emailing, you name it, marketing, Facebook ads, anything you want, we're answering it. We usually only answer questions in our paid program, so make sure you ask them now. Yo, can you hear me?
Josh, man, how you doing?
Dude, I'm doing amazing. Thanks for hopping in here.
No worries, no worries. Happy to talk to your audience today.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so anyways, thanks for hopping on here. Basically, I just wanted to, ask you a few quick questions. Very laid back, nothing serious at all. I know that you know a ton about social media marketing. I mean, every time I see your name in a group chat or in a comment, I know you're dropping value. So I know my audience could benefit from that and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna see how it goes, and yeah.
Beauty, let's do it.
All right. So first off, I know we've talked a little bit. You've helped me out in the past. I remember that, and I appreciate that. But I remember I watched some of your YouTube videos, but I don't really know your background and where you came from and how things got started. So do you want to give us like a brief background and all of that?
Yeah, for sure. I mainly got my start in social media marketing after I quit my corporate job working for one of the big media companies in Canada. That was at the end of, I think, October of 2017. So I began doing social media marketing freelance work. So I did freelancing for a few different businesses, and then I ended up really hating it. I was doing way too much of the work. I was working more in the business instead of on the business. So I decided, like, I got way too overwhelmed. I met all my client requirements, and I went down to South America for a couple months just to kind of get a refresher, brought my laptop down and do some work as well. And it really dawned on me that I needed to start actually working on a business instead of continuing to do freelance work, social media marketing work. And my real passion is teaching and coaching as well. And so I ended up getting my business incorporated this past August, so August 2018, and mainly help real estate professionals get more leads, higher quality clients, close more high ticket sales through digital marketing, either through Facebook ads or another type of PPC. That's what my company mainly does. I mainly coach real estate professionals as well on digital marketing, kind of getting started, so that if they ever want to do any outsourcing or if they ever want to actually start doing advertisement, then they actually have the foundation where they know what works, they know what doesn't work,
Yeah.
and they also know how not to get cheated by an outsourcer. Because I just wrapped up a call today with a prospect who
Yeah.
isn't in real estate. She's in the health industry, and she was just telling me
Yeah.
how over the last 18 months she's been screwed by 3 different digital marketing companies. And I'm like, holy jumping! And she has
Jeez.
spent
Yeah.
a lot of money just spending it
Yeah.
on companies that promise the world, they promise everything, and then they just shipped everything on her. So I really, really felt I really had a lot of sympathy for her and a lot of the situations, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that try to promise the world and then they don't actually deliver, or they actually don't practice what they preach, and then they have terrible communication skills as well.
Yeah, definitely. Gotcha. So are you more in the, at this point, are you more in the consulting space than the done for you, or do you outsource the done for you, or?
Yeah, I actually have a couple partners for my done for you. So I have three products. My first one, which is my top
Okay.
end, is the actual done for you. It's 90-day paid
Okay.
traffic program, and I work with that with a few different outsources and a few different partners to help out with that. And then my second one is that I actually go in and help go in for a couple days to either businesses or individuals that have a successful product and they want to start scaling it. And so I go in and I teach them my front end coaching service, which I'll talk about in a second. So I teach that throughout the whole first day. So it's 2 8-hour blocks. So first day is just going through that whole coaching program. And then on the second day, I help them actually physically start their online funnel. And then we also
Nice.
start working on copywriting and also different
Yeah.
content, so like content that works, and targeting for their Facebook ads, so that they have all the testing products that they need in order to start testing right away after I leave the door. So and then my front end is the actual coaching service, where it's a 1 month program where I coach for an hour per week, and I pretty much get people all started so that they're not lost, and they take them through all the steps needed in order to start actually advertising on Facebook. Because that's the thing that a lot of people get confused about, is that they want to start advertising on Facebook right away without developing a proof of concept. You need that proof of concept to work. You need
Yeah.
to know that your product is actually
Yeah.
good, if it's actually viable, if people actually want it, before you start throwing money at Google, before you start throwing money at Facebook, because then you're going to end up just wasting thousands, if not like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on a product that you have no idea actually resonates with the
Yeah.
target audience that you want it to.
Yeah. Nice. 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 That's awesome. And um, with like, what was your reason behind wanting to work with real estate agents? Like, was there some sort of passion, or just they're a high ticket client, or why did you go with them?
I find real estate, especially where I'm living in Vancouver up in Canada, real estate has been a very hot commodity over the last 20 years. So housing prices, especially in the years 20 to 2017, astronomically. And I realized that in the market, there's a lot of people. There's in my area in Vancouver, the Lower Mainland, which is kind of like the broad side of Vancouver, which incorporates a lot of different towns and a lot of different cities inside of that area. It's around just under 2 million people inside of this like vast area called the Lower Mainland. And inside of that 2 million people, there's over 17,000 real estate agents inside of this 2 million people group, which is way too much. There's so much supply out there
Yeah.
because everyone tried to jump in and be a real estate professional during this high peak
Yeah.
era of 2015,
Yeah.
2016, when housing prices just started skyrocketing here. So I realized that there's
Yeah.
a contraction happening in the market right now, and where the people that actually are legitimate and they actually want to work and be ahead of their competition. So they actually want to start like doing digital marketing. They want to
Yeah.
start doing advertising properly, and they want to get ahead of their competition. I find that it's a lot more viable for me to step into that market right now, because there's kind of like a need
Yeah.
for them to separate themselves from that competition, because there's 17,000 like realtors, which is just crazy. It's a crazy amount of money. That doesn't include brokers, that doesn't include any like other components that go into real estate. So that's where I thought that there was a hole in the market. And also, I really like real estate. I enjoy the real
Yeah.
estate professionals. I like knowing it for myself, because I want to start doing investments in the next 10 years in real estate. That's why I started
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it can end up being a vehicle towards that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into real estate, so that I personally would understand it a lot better. And if I can work with people that understand the market and know about it, and we're giving each other both value at the same time, then I think that's a win-win situation.
That's awesome. Yeah, and one thing, so what I'm doing right now, I don't know if I announced this on my account, but um, a week ago, I was like, so I personally got out of the done for you work and I was mainly focusing on consulting because that's my passion as well. I'd rather hop on a phone and teach somebody and use social in that sense than do the actual ads. And I knew I could outsource it, but I didn't want to deal with that and whatnot. So in December, I dropped all my clients and I kind of stopped all that and moved on. But it was funny, a week ago, I was like, man, I think I'm just going to like start another agency and focus on real estate agents and like scale it. I'm going to try, my goal is to scale to 10K in 30 days, in a month, to show everyone that it is possible with cold messaging, just for my course mainly, in a sense like that. So planning, it's going to start in February, but I've been building up to that and just reaching out to realtors and talking to them more. But one thing with that, as I've been doing this, I don't know if this is the same for you, but I find realtors don't like to just like have you beat around the bush with them because they know you're there to sell something. They like to hear the numbers and they like to get down to like why you're there, what you have right away. And the problem I had with that is that's not the way I usually cold message. I usually have a 4-pillar approach that's a little different. But I noticed that realtors, they don't have much time. They're getting used to being sold to so much. And so when I find I come in and I say, I'm here to do this, 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 not promise the world, but talk numbers and why I'm there, kind of get down to the point, they seem to respond better and I get way more meetings that way. Like, are you sensing that at all? Or is that like something that's
100%.
normal?
Yeah, 100%. Real estate agents, they're salespeople as well. They understand. They're very analytical. They understand that whole process. The hardest thing about like going into real estate is that emotional aspect, and that's what a lot of real estate professionals they kind of struggle with. They struggle with like the emotional aspect of like buying and sell property. It's very emotional. Like a lot of the time, they're with people when they're making the biggest purchase in their life. And so they think very analytically through a lot of this stuff, especially if salespeople come in and people kind of like us, like digital marketers, go in and try to present them what we have to offer. They're very, very analytical. So that is a great thing that you picked up, because that's something I picked up as well. And the other thing that I've realized with real estate professionals, after I was kind of like niche hopping a little bit in the middle of the summer, so around like July, June or so, just trying to like figure out my foundation so that it's much easier for my company to start like actually just having a proof of concept for itself instead of niche hopping all over the place. It was actually like real estate professionals are more likely to answer the phone. So if you actually call them, they're more likely to pick it up because they think that it's one of their clients. They think that it's someone there that's interested in their service. So it's a lot easier to actually come in contact and call them that way. So I find that cold messaging sometimes, which I've been testing a lot on LinkedIn this month, pretty funny because I go in and I've done like my 30-day tag that I got from Sam Ovens, and I'm trying to work on my Sam Ovens hair right now, so hopefully it's coming off a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, you're looking just like him. Now you're trying to get the robot stare and
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's weird just to kind of doing some cold messaging because I'm doing it to kind of test out the market, see if they're resonating a lot on LinkedIn. And I've actually managed to get a couple coaching clients through that way through LinkedIn cold messaging, which if you guys aren't cold messaging yet, Josh is the guy to start doing it. Josh is amazing with cold messaging, no matter the platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere. You can even do cold messaging on YouTube. If someone's just like randomly doing stuff on YouTube, just like comment on their YouTube page. You can literally just do it anywhere. But after like developing that and going through all that process, so it's just all about testing, see what works, seeing what resonates with the market. I'm finding it's a lot of fun, like kind of like dealing back and forth with real estate agents, but it's also a lot easier if you're scared of like this cold calling. It's a lot easier to call someone after you connected with them, say on LinkedIn, for example. It's a lot easier to be like, hey, like I sent you a connection on LinkedIn. I sent you that message and stuff like that. And I saw that you read it, but you didn't like if a lot of the time people will read a message, not reply. Like a lot of people are busy throughout the day. They may forget about it. And like, they're probably like, who's this rando that's messaging me on LinkedIn? I have no idea who they are. So a lot of the time, if you actually call like any, like no matter what your niche is, if you call them and actually specifically tell them like, hey, I connected with you on LinkedIn a couple days ago. I'm just here to kind of see like where you're at with your digital marketing. I saw your website.
Yeah.
So like come in prepared. If you're going to be making cold calls, don't come unprepared that you know nothing about like their own
Yeah.
personality, their own website, their own social media. So it's a great way to connect with people is through cold messaging first and then calling.
Yeah.
Real estate professionals, they do pick up the phone and answer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like that's the thing, like with because I don't cold call. Like I mean, I've made a cold call in like 2 years now. So I mean, it's been a while, and I mean, I just cold message. And so the thing is, like, they do pick up their phones a lot, but with cold messaging, like I had to test different platforms to see where they're more prominent and where they're more active, so I can get those higher response rates. And what I figured out was the where I'm getting the best results are on Facebook and email right now. So that's where I'm getting the most responses there. LinkedIn, okay, so with LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn and you can cold message there. But the thing is with that is they're so used to, like LinkedIn's such a platform that's automated, like, and that's a good thing. But people are so used to being hit with like these pitch right away. So you have to go at it a whole different way. Like you can't go at it so direct and salesy spamming. I mean, there's ways to do it, of course. But I've kind of stayed away with LinkedIn for realtors because I find email especially, like I can just go on Zillow and like in that contact box right on the real estate finder, like on the side, I'll just send like my initial message right there. And what's funny is they end up trying to call me after I send that email. And then I don't answer it because I just don't want to get on the phone with them at that point. And then I let them text me. So then they end up texting me. And then that's where I close the meeting. So it's been like Facebook, email, and texting that's been working for realtors in California right now. That's what I've seen lately. So
That's a good process that you have going. If it's working, it's a great process then if you're able to close meetings. Closing meetings, that's the number one struggle that a lot of digital marketers they go through is just getting them on the phone or getting someone to actually go into a meeting. And so that's why you do a big service for other people that are inside the niche with helping people actually do cold messaging so that they end up getting a meeting and getting in front of people. Because if you're not in front of people and if you're not actually talking to them, then they have no idea who you are. So it doesn't matter. Like, and that's the other thing that people have to get used to as well. Like I have a background in acting as well. I did a lot of some principal acting work. So I had to go out to auditions a lot. I also refereed both ice hockey and lacrosse growing up. So I was used to a lot of the time getting a lot of rejection or a lot of like adults screaming at me and like just saying no, like all the time. So I had to get used to like that sort of form of rejection, which now I just kind of ignore. If someone rejects or like I don't take it personally anymore because I've already been used to that growing up. So like that's the biggest thing that people have to jump over that hurdle that inside that space. Like no, like if someone says no, it's not the end of the world. You just keep moving on. You like there's like 7.5 billion people out there. I'm sure you can get someone on the phone.
I know. And like, especially with like real estate, there's so many like realtors out there, especially like, that's why I never really get bothered with it because I know like, all right, I'm like targeting just California right now. And like, I haven't even reached out to everyone there yet. And there's still, multiple other states left. And then also Australia, United Kingdom, like, because of cold messaging, you can go worldwide. Like, and I've never had a meeting in person yet before just because I can't drive yet. So like, I have to do it on the phone. So like, I just go worldwide with it because then you can just like call them on Skype or whatever. So like, you can't like limit yourself because let's say you hit up all the realtors somehow in the United States. Like that's not even all of them. You can go to Australia. You can go to the United Kingdom. It doesn't matter. Oh, and one thing, I had a guy, he was in the Cold Messaging Kings program and we did the call and then he lives in Australia and I guess realtors there, they don't get sold to a lot for digital marketing yet. It's like not saturated yet. And so he was like hitting up those people and he literally in one night got 4 meetings set just because like it's not saturated down there, like right after the call. And like, I'm not even saying it's because of like what I taught him. It's just not hit yet. Like there's places where people, at least it was in Melbourne, I think he said. And so he started going after them because like nobody's like, I guess it's not as bad as it is here. So I thought that was pretty funny too. I was like, there's certain areas that just haven't been hit up yet.
Yeah, 100%. I also think that I think California is bigger than Canada for population size as well.
Really, really.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's
Which
crazy,
which
actually.
I
You
think
think
so
like
like
Canada
yeah,
seems
so
so big.
a lot of people they just think so small and then but I think thinking small first, like starting
Yeah,
with your own local area first, testing that out first, seeing like what's kind of receptive, what's not,
yeah,
and then you could start to expand, go more and more out. Like I'm literally only messaging people, like say on LinkedIn, I'm only messaging people that are in that lower mainland of Vancouver, of the greater Vancouver area. That's all I'm messaging now
yeah,
because I haven't even gone and like because I literally just do a copy and paste initial connection request that
yeah,
just
yeah,
has Vancouver in the headline. All I have to do is replace that with Calgary, replace it with Toronto, replace it with Montreal,
yeah,
or if I'm
yeah,
going after people in the States, then I just replace it with whatever city. Um, and
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, definitely.
I barely made it through anything. Like my goal just to get connections around Vancouver is to get to that 500 plus connections, and then I'll actually start attacking people that are or going after and connecting with people that are more qualified instead of just trying to reach that 500 plus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Okay, okay. And to everyone that's watching right now, and guys, I know you guys have some questions and we'll answer those. But for everyone watching right now, what advice could you give somebody? I know a lot of people reach out to realtors right now. A lot of people on my friends list say are going to realtors. Like, what's one thing that you could tell them, like how to handle realtors, because they are kind of hard to, they're kind of mean people in a way, and you know they can be a little hard. But like, what one tip would you give them to handle getting a meeting with them, or how to handle realtors before you actually have the meeting and like initially selling the meeting? Like, what's one tip you'd give them in that standpoint?
I would think about if you actually want to go after realtors, real estate in general as a niche has a whole
Yeah,
bunch of components to it. There's a lot of people like I'm
yeah,
meeting with a brokerage firm tomorrow. I actually have a face-to-face meeting because I'm actually
mhm,
kind of selling them my 2 day training for tomorrow for lunch. So I'm going out there. I'm actually going to physically go out to a meeting, which I usually like don't do, but this is kind of like a higher
yeah,
end, actually a brokerage firm where I'm meeting with multiple people
yeah,
tomorrow. So it's like you just have to figure out like the real estate niche is very big. You can go after mortgage brokers, you can go after like even like
yeah,
digital marketers that are inside the real estate space as well. Like sometimes they need people to help closing with them. It depends like what you want to do as a digital marketer. Do you want to like close leads? Do you want to like
yeah,
there's so many different steps that go into it. But with like realtors
yeah,
specifically, like realtors is kind of that hot thing right now. I've realized that in the last like 6 months or so that a lot of realtors,
yeah,
they're getting attacked with like a whole bunch of people just coming in and just messaging them and
yeah,
like calling them and stuff. And that's kind of like a struggle that they're having. A lot of the time was that like a lot of people like they'll just call once. Like I would say like call someone like every week or something like that. Even not even call, like just send
yeah,
them a message, like send them some value,
yeah,
get them to like watch some of your videos as well, just to get them like
yeah,
just make yourself different than other people that just end up calling them and just being like, hey, I have this like awesome
yep,
service that I just do and stuff like that. But you should just like do
yeah,
something that's kind of different, that's like not what they're used to. So I watched one of the videos from Sam Ubbins, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, that came out with like he literally is
yeah,
sitting next to his fire with a weed plant. And I'm like, this is the stupidest, most ridiculous thing I've seen, but it's different.
yeah,
It's something that's just like, well, this caught
yeah,
my attention because it's not like a video of like some guy talking just like about digital marketing or something like that on their phone.
yeah,
You just got to be able to differentiate yourself and just like show them that you're different. So if you're not in the 6-figure SMMA course from Iman Gadji, he talks a lot about the fake audit. Fake audits are great, especially if you are only doing it through email cold messaging. But like
yeah,
doing an audit, if they end up responding back to the fake audit strategy, and just doing it's very time consuming, especially for like audits and stuff like that. You want to get onto the meeting first, and then like if they want like any additional information or something like that, or after you've closed them, then you can go through like and do an audit and stuff like that. So it's all about kind of like saving your
yeah, yeah, yeah,
time, and
yeah,
trying to like figure out your own steps, your own processes and stuff. And but that's the number one thing that I would do if going after others, especially like you don't have to go after realtors
hmm
in the real estate space. That's the first you have to do that because realtors right now in the last 6 months have been
Yeah.
very oversaturated, which is what you mentioned before. Maybe go
Yeah.
after like there's a lot of people inside the real estate niche if you're really into that. But if you are into realtors, make sure that you're doing something that is different than what the regular person
Yeah.
that'll just pick up a phone and just call them.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I'm actually, here's one thing, like I was telling somebody earlier today, a new employee I hired to cold message for me, and I was telling him like, I'm happy that there are so many crappy digital marketers out there selling to the realtors, because it just makes me look so much better if I go against that common, common thing they're seeing. If I counter that, all it's gonna do, is make you guys look better if you know how to do it. I mean, if just because there's a bunch of crap ones out there, I mean, yeah, it can make you look better, but what if you're coming at them just like everyone else, right? So you got to figure out one thing. And also, with a lot of people asking, it's like, what service do I provide to realtors? And like, they're always like, do you just bring them leads and just kind of like let them handle them and whatnot? And I mean, what I do is I run Facebook ads to a chatbot, and the chatbot funnels out people and automatically qualifies them, responds to them, and puts them in a CRM to push them down the sales funnel. That's what I do to differentiate myself and save the realtor some time. But what are you doing for you? Are you just giving them a list of leads and say, all right, if you go close them, or what systems are you helping them with after the traffic has converted into a lead? Are you doing anything else, or?
For the agent itself, or the professional, like after the ad, like I'm just trying to picture. So
Yeah.
after the ad and the leads start rolling in, it's the after that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the ad, let's say they come in, they opt in, the lead's there. Like some people will just like give the lead to the realtor and have them call them and try to close them. And some people do other things. Like, what do you do?
For me, it's about like doing like my one of my partners, he does, like, it depends like what the realtor kind of wants. Like he has like an email automation,
Yeah.
and he also has one of the
Yeah.
chatbot automations as well. But I feel
Yeah.
that like that's just like an entry kind of thing. So if you have like a free product, like a free like ebook or something like that, that's kind of like just to get
Yeah.
them to kind of know you. And the goal is to actually like get on the phone with the actual like your client, your real estate professional client, so that they end up closing in the first 6 months. Since it's real estate, like you have to think about it as like a 6-month turn. Like that's someone that's really hot, that's the buy and sell right away. It's a 6-month window. While someone, you want to be able to grow a relationship with one who will either use as a referral or use as a referral, or they'll come on and actually buy or sell a property with you in the next 7 years. Because usually for 7 years, it's a deep relationship. So I will only real estate professionals, or I only take on clients who I feel are legitimate in their services. Like they'll actually go in and out of their way. They already have a proof of concept already established inside of for my 90-day program. Like I don't just take on anyone and everyone, because like if they don't have like their own way of communicating with the leads, or they don't have their way of actually closing anything, and they don't have a good follow-up system, then like I can get them as many leads as possible. That doesn't matter if they don't have a good follow-up system. Like a lot of people that I find struggling, especially like in a lot of different niches and digital marketing, is that they get all these leads for the companies, and then these companies just don't know what to do with them after. So that's why like I have my first and my that's why I have my training and my coaching program before, my 1-month coaching program, my 2-day coaching training program, just so that they can get into that mindset before like thinking of like client relationships and like the long-term process of lifetime value of a client, especially in real estate where someone 7 years. That's a long time. Like someone can buy and sell like 2 or 3 different properties in that time. So like they'll be sticking with you with that relationship. So what I end up doing, I have to make sure that they're qualified and they have their follow-up process already established. I don't just work with anyone. Like I would recommend them going into like my 1 month coaching program. So that's one of the things with my 1 month coaching program is to pre-qualify if they have like a business or anything like that, to pre-qualify them for my 90-day paid traffic program so that I know personally I can take them on and they have all the steps in there necessarily. They already have all the systems in place so that all I have to do is just, with me and my partners, is just run paid traffic for them because they already have all of their proof of concept, everything's all done. And that's the only thing that I would share as advice for digital marketers. Make sure that you're working with someone you want to work with. Don't just take on people, don't just take on clients just for money, because that will bite you in the ass at the end of the day. Like that will literally, like, it'll make you like, it's bad for your self-esteem as well as your client. It'll be a very salty relationship, and it's not a win-win situation. If you're just going after money, you want to actually be able to work and have a relationship with your client, because you're going to be with them for 3 months and then maybe longer if it ends up working out. But if your client, like if something happens between you two, then that's going to be very bad. And then they'll go out there and like, it's like when you watch a good or a bad movie. If you watch a good movie, you're going to tell maybe 2 or 3 friends about it. But if you watch friends about it. So if someone has a bad experience with you, they're going to tell a hell of a lot more people than if they had a good experience with you. So make sure that like people have that good relationship and that they're actually pre-qualified to go into a 3-month program, because not everyone is pre-qualified to go into a 3-month program. Because I know lots of people that sell like low-end products or whatever that like digital marketers try to sign for like $1,000 a month, like in the restaurant niche or like some e-com niche where people are just selling like little pool cup floaties or something like that are only like $9. There's no way for them to actually get a return on investment for your digital marketing services, and then they end up resenting you at the end of the day, and that's not cool for anyone.
Definitely. That's the thing. Like that's why I always like working with higher ticket people, because I know if I like, even if I go to one realtor and I sell my package and they only end up getting 1 client from that, then they've made their money back, you know, at that point. After, I mean, it depends on how much they're paying on other aspects of the deal. But I mean, it's a lot easier than, like you said, going out and trying to sell a little $9 product, trying to make back $1,000 plus ad spend and whatnot, you know. It's gonna
the base fee doesn't even include it doesn't even include ad spend.
I know I missed some questions. Let's scroll real quick and see it. The ad spend, you have to factor that in. Okay, so Ollie said, how do you get more followers on Instagram? Do you do much on Instagram? I know do you do anything on Instagram, or?
I did.
Have you ever done any growth on Instagram?
Yeah, I worked really hard with my Instagram from July until December, but then I got like really overwhelmed. I went like I did follow. I tried a big tip for I grew my followers from 300 to 2,000, all really organically, and I only did 1 paid traffic ad, which was a contest ad because I did a giveaway for it. So my Instagram is just based around travel, and I'm shaping that over to the next year so that I can help other people kind of do what we're doing in the future, in like a year or so down the line, because I want to actually be able to make like a profit and good amount of like stuff with my business, begin to be a lot more reputable first before just going out there and selling like the dream to a lot of people, even though I literally just work from my laptop now. And I make money like through my laptop, which is just crazy, but I want to be able to like make 100K first with my business before I start teaching people how to do this sort of stuff. But for Instagram and getting more followers, what I did was I did a mixture of 2 different components. So the first one, I ran a contest for my How to Travel for Free ebook. You can find that on my Instagram. My Instagram is at the Gilbs, which is TheGilbz. GILBYGILBZ. And what I did was I have a free travel ebook, and I ran a contest as an Instagram story. So I got people to follow me, like 3 of my like posts or whatever. So like 3 like videos or content, and then send me a DM saying that they've done it. So then I give them like the free ebook. But even though like I had the free ebook in my Instagram bio, so I didn't really understand like why people don't really pay attention to like that sort of stuff, which I found really funny. Like they'll send me the message like, give me the ebook. And, like it's literally in my bio, where you like can get it, but
Yeah.
like whatever, like I'm cool with the message because that helps with the
Yeah.
algorithm. So I did that. And the other thing as
Yeah.
well, which I think Instagram are Instagram bots. So Instagram bots, a
Yeah.
bit of those. So they
Yeah.
started doing it at the end of this year, but there's still a lot around. So what I did was you just use, if you have no, this is if you have no money to spend and you want to start like trying to grow it like organically. Uh, just use Instagram bot free trials. So a lot of those free trials are 3 days, 7 days,
Yeah.
14 days. Just look up free Instagram bot trials on Google and just sign up to as many as you can in like a month's time. So then you have every single day, like it's a
Yeah.
little time consuming. You got to figure out, like, make sure you write down what hashtags, what accounts to kind of go after, who you want as an audience. But as soon as you have that all written down, you can just copy and paste that into the new bot trials. And you just keep doing
Yeah.
that for a month. There's so many different services out there that just offer this stuff for free
Yeah.
and free trials.
Yeah.
So
I
that's what I
use
would do. Yeah.
InstaZood, right? I just like, I don't focus much on Instagram as I should be, but just to, cause I use it just because it actually helps, a lot of people reach out to me when I follow them, and like for coaching, like it's kind of just like an automatic promotion for me in a sense, because like all my highlights are full of testimonials. I have a link in my bio, built to my follower base after having it as a travel account and then switching it over. So I mean, like, I just use it on the back just to like keep things going. I don't focus on it, but it's like $10 a month and it just runs. I'm like, all right, cool. Like it just follows and unfollows. I don't focus on it that much. So I mean, yeah, bots, just get a cheap bot. InstaZood is really nice because it's $10, no contract, and they have a 3-day trial. So InstaZood is what I would say to go for. All right, so the Simon, sorry if I'm saying it wrong. You said, what are the most important principles for effective messaging in general? What I would say is do not pitch in the first message, and your goal should be to get the first response. My first message is always saying, hey, Josh, Gavin here, just wondering if this is the best place for me to ask a few quick questions. That's what I say first. The responses are insane. If I send 10 messages, I get 7, 8 responses just from that, because from good customer service, they're going to respond to you saying at least, yeah, this is, or, you know, yeah, what are your questions? So get the first response. Don't pitch in the first message. That's what I would say. Okay, Kevin said, Josh, what are the most effective ways to grow your connection list on LinkedIn? Do you have anything to say about this, Evan?
For growing connections on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
For it depends on your niche. If your niche is hanging out there and talking to a lot of different, like if LinkedIn is where your niche is hanging out, then that's a good place to do it. I literally just I'll send them a message and just be like, hey, I know that we haven't met before, but my name is Evan, and I see that you're in so and so niche, and I'm just reaching out. To because I'm interested in what you're doing inside of the niche, and you just kind of sign off with your name. So that's how you kind of like grow connections a little bit. So you're not 100% what you said, Josh. You're not selling anything in the first bit, because you want to get that connection first, and then you just kind of opening out, and then you're also like you're curious about what they're doing too. So like a good way to do that as well is just to go on their LinkedIn profile as well, because you get a notification if someone visits. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. LinkedIn. Yeah. Just send. I mean, there are softwares out there. LinkedIn cracks down on it a lot. So, I mean, you won't get banned, but it just won't even do that. I mean, like some now you can only send like 25 connections per day. And I mean, you can really do that manually pretty quick anyways. So it doesn't make that much sense to buy a software at that point. I mean, yeah, there are good ones out there. You can find them. But if you're just starting out, don't worry about that. Get the first month of LinkedIn sales nav, spend that month building up to that 500 mark, and then see what happens. You know, stay on the platform. Like if you want to be good at cold messaging on a platform, or if you want to get clients on a platform, you literally need to spend a ton of time just on the platform. Either just, I don't know how this helps, but like just scrolling through it, just being on it, getting used to it, because for some reason you're going to be able to like just collect data or see patterns that work well. And that's what I do with Facebook. Like I live on Facebook now, and that's how I've built up my audience, and how I started cold messaging was just staying on Facebook like all the time, like more than any other platform. And that's what helped me. So that's what I say for that. How do you guys pronounce niche? Well, I say niche.
You say niche, niche, tomato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, that's probably the same thing. What's the giveaway? You'll see at the end. It's coming from me, not Evan, though. So don't worry, Evan. I'm not gonna make you give away anything.
Good.
But yeah, so yeah, you gotta give away all your coaching for free. You know, that's what you sign up, so you gotta give away.
Opt in, sell your souls for coaching, guys.
Yeah, guys, buy your stuff. You're gonna be millionaires. You buy my coaching, you're gonna make $1 million. You buy his stuff, you're gonna make $2 million. All you need to do is opt in, give us your email. We will send you a free ebook, which will make you a millionaire. It's only $500 to opt in.
Yep, no, exactly. Make sure you guys add all your credit card information, add all of that information in there. Then we're we're all set.
Yep. Yeah, all set. Yep, exactly. Social Security, everything. But yeah, all right. So I actually have a coaching call in a few minutes. I want to end this with one. You got it. Okay, so anybody in the social media marketing space, beginner, advanced, you know, you're a master at this. What one tip would you give everyone in my audience to succeed at social media marketing, or to better become an agency owner? What's the one thing that you would say if you had to choose out of everything you've learned?
Mindset. Always mindset. Mindset will be the first thing before anything. Figure out, like, I know Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot, is to clean your own room before helping out with other people. So you have to figure out you have to figure out yourself first before you're able to help anyone else. So the first thing that you have to do is try to figure out, like, what am I doing? What do I want to do? Like, how am I going to end up serving people? How am I going to serve the world? So you have to figure out, like, what you actually want in life, and then you have to kind of like clean out that whole inside and sort yourself out first before you go in and help anyone else. Because you can start your own agency like literally in 5 minutes. You can start your own agency. That's not hard. Starting an agency isn't difficult. Doing a social media post isn't difficult. None of that is hard. You just have to figure out like your own mindset. Work on that first before you end up changing the world, because you got to change yourself first before you want to change the world. So that's probably the number one tip and advice for your audience there, Josh.
Awesome. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree with that, because anybody can literally say they have an agency, start an agency, sell a service, outsource in a few minutes. Like I said a few days ago, I said I was going to start an agency, and like I did, you know, I got it all set up. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Anybody can literally go do what I did at this point. But now what kicks in is the sales, you know, getting that mindset of creating the funnel, set up the systems, everything like that. So I totally agree with that. Mindset is a big part of it. And the one thing I would say, guys, is if you're just doing this for the money and you literally have no passion for it at all, like you hate it, you absolutely hate it, but you're just doing it for the money, then do not do this, because you're not going to make money. I feel like you're not going to, there's going to be a point throughout your whole entrepreneur journey where there's going to be a time where you're not going to be making money. And if you're just doing it for the money, that means you're just wasting a lot of time, because I guarantee you're probably going to end up dropping out of this. So I would like find a service, find a niche that you have some small passion for, because there's going to be times where it might suck. And you don't want to be stuck doing something where you might as well be working at McDonald's. That's what I would say. That's my tip for the day. Go work at McDonald's, guys, if you don't have a passion for this. You know, they pay good. They pay good. All right. Cool. Well, anything else that you want to say, or where can people reach out to you? Where can they pay for your coaching? Do you have any teachings for any of your social media marketing?
You can reach out to me. I have my website is www.blockemedia.com. If you guys want to check out my own real estate funnel, you just do dash and then you do real another like dash, estate dash.
Yeah.
I think it is. Let me just pull that up just for a
Yeah.
second.
And
So
if you want to, you can always send me the link afterwards, and I'll pop it into the saved recording of this right at the top too, if you want to.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So I'll send you that, and I'll also send my Instagram as well.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
can reach out to me on
yeah,
Instagram. I'm going to start being a lot more active on
yeah,
Instagram starting next month. This month I took it easy on Instagram so that I could just focus on LinkedIn
yeah.
as well. But I'll send you all
Yep.
the relevant information for people to follow me on Instagram. You
Awesome.
could also you see my Facebook profile on here. You guys can send me some friend requests as well. Shoot me a message if you guys have any questions whatsoever. But I'm mainly mostly active on Instagram as well as on my website too. And I'll probably send you my link to my YouTube as well. So, yep, that's where you'll be able to find
Sweet.
me.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on here. I know there was some delay with it, so I'm happy we were able to figure out a time. I'm sure a lot of people benefited from this, and I wish you luck, and I'm excited to see the more success you achieve, man.
Dude, you're 16, you're super hungry, and I'm like, the world is literally your oyster, Josh. So I'm super excited to go out and on this journey,
Thank
and
you.
we're going to
Thank you,
be
man.
able to.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. That means a lot, man. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Stay in touch. And if you ever want me to feature in your network or anything, just let me know. And I'd love to hop on a video with you. I know we talked about it before. So yeah, I'll see you, man.
Cheers, buddy.
All right. All right. I'm going to hop off there. There we go. All right. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, that was a great conversation with him. He's amazing, especially his real estate. He's absolutely killing it and just consulting, everything like that. So if you ever have any questions about selling to realtors, getting realtors, he's the guy to go for. But yeah, guys, so anybody that is still on here who is watching the replay, if you are on this stream, all you need to do for the giveaway is just reach out to me and say that you were on this live stream or you saw the end of this if this is the replay. And then I will be giving you 1 month free for our LinkedIn automation service. And then also you'll be able to have a strategy call with me as well. So yeah, reach out to me and you'll get one of those. I'm going to be kind of mixing up for who gets what and kind of balancing it and kind of keep it very limited. So if you guys see the end of this, all you need to do is reach out to me and say live and I will get that over to you and we'll figure things out. But yeah, guys, keep killing us messaging. We'll have more special guests on every single week. I was going to do every single Thursday, but we're just a day early. I think today's Wednesday. So yeah, be on the lookout. If you have any questions about cold messaging or the cold messaging kings, let me know. I'm glad you guys hopped on this stream and I hope that you got some value from it. All right, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.